All right, we're back with more of Avadon 3, the Warborn here. So let's go ahead and continue with our main mission, which we dealt with in the corruption. The envoy, enforcing the law. Nicodemus' craft, closing up shop. Worst of them. So that was quite the end of Miranda right there. It was really cool to see her return and all that. And even though we didn't have to get into a big fight with her. Oh, as you walk through the hand camp, Torch struggles to keep up with you. Raylin, wait, I have news. You let him catch up with you. He says, Redbeard has left. Did you hear? Looks like you didn't. When he returned from the corruption, he was very sick. His guards took him away in the middle of the night. Commander Dinez told me that he wants to talk to you. Hope that helps. Okay. Talk about the deserter camp. Botan sits by the fire. For once, he is relaxing. His ale is there, but his weapons aren't. He is quietly playing a stringed instrument to the enjoyment of the other hands. At the end of his song, he motions for you to sit with him. Glad to see you, Raylin. I am in the good mood, and I want to share it. Being near the corruption is very invigorating. The corruption relaxes you? Really? Yes, it is dangerous and disgusting, true. However, all we are killing is mindless horrors, blobs of slime. Raylin, I've killed many people and it wears on me. I will not shrink from my duty, but it is nice to have a rest from the hardest part of it. I sort of see what you mean. It all has such clarity now, does it not? We go out and beat back chaos. No ambiguity, no confusion. We are simply rescuing our people from an unfortunate magical accident. There's something you may not have considered. He was reaching for his instrument, but his hand pauses. What is it? Are you sure the creatures we are killing are mindless? Botan pauses for a long time. Then he says, I feel they are mindless, but we know so little about them. Can I truly... He shakes his head. I wish you had not said that, Raylin. I think I will choose to not think about it. Is there anything else before I return to my music? That's all I need. How have you been traveling without me? Well, I do occasionally have to take care of other bits of hand business. The responsibilities of Avadon, you know, it will not affect my obligations to you. I just want to know if you need help. It is very kind of you to ask, then. A bit of a relief, really. You see, I may at some point need to ask for your help, as you are able to rely on mine. I will help you as much as I can. You must be a new hand. Few of the more experienced of our cast would offer so much aid with such enthusiasm. He stands and rests his hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Raylin. I will remember your kindness, and I hope I never have to take advantage of it. He sits back down. Please join me. Even before you reach Napoli, you realize that all is not well. The other hands are staying clear of her. One of them meets your gaze and rolls eyes, as if to say, what can you do? You sit at the table. She doesn't respond. She stares straight ahead, quietly trembling with fury. You wait. She doesn't say anything. What is wrong? She laughs bitterly. Nearby hands subtly edge farther away. Nothing new. I requested more knowledge. They said no, as always, year after year. My peak years pass by, and all I get is boredom and wasted potential. Why do you need permission to attain power? I don't, technically. I can invent anything I want. However, I don't have the time to rediscover centuries of magical study. To learn new things, make new spells, I need access to the magical resources of Avadon. That is what they hide from me. Why is this bothering you now? Because I am getting older while Linnaeus burns. I should be reaching my true potential and using that power to save our homelands. I'm afraid if I don't do something soon, it will be too late. For all of us. Why aren't you allowed to have power? When I was young, they thought I was too ambitious. I was independent, and Redbeard hates nothing more than true independence. She glares at the nearby hands. Yes, I said it. I've said it to him, too. Yes, I went out on my own once. She holds up her burned hand. I paid for it. My penance never ends. What will you do about it? Naphtali starts to say something, then thinks better of it. She forces herself to calm down. Nothing. I am a loyal hand of Avadon. I will do everything ordered of me, except always pretend I am happy and content and a good little soldier. As a hand, you need to be as powerful as possible. Yes, I do. This isn't just about my ego, but all about fighting for the pack, saving the pack. I don't want to accept the minor role they have for me. Yet, I know I must. I am calm now. I apologize for my tantrum. Okay, nothing from Selena yet. I wonder if Deleth has anything to say. Okay, nothing to say here. So yeah, Redbeard has really left the Green Refuge. Commander Dinez sits at the fire tending to his gear. You sit and chat with him for a while about the state of the war. He doesn't like Redbeard, but he is entirely polite to you. I'm supposed to ask you about Redbeard. Ah, yes, Redbeard has left. I am not sorry about it. He won't be missed. He did leave a message for you. However, he was clear that it was not to be delivered until you had finished negotiating with the rebels. You tell Dinez about your last meeting with Emery. He is impressed. Then we are all in your debt. Great work. Now I can tell you that Redbeard is sick. The corruption has affected him. Though he may not deserve it, he commands your help. You are to go to the Black Fortress. You must return to Avadon itself. He shows you a scroll pinned by Redbeard himself. You must fetch 3 things and take them to Redbeard. How is Redbeard doing? I don't know. When he returned from the corruption, he seemed deathly ill. Everyone saw it. He retired to his chambers. The next morning he was gone. Left quietly in the middle of the night. All he left for me were these instructions. He holds up the letter. How can I get to Avadon? There is a portal in the Keeper's Hall. Redbeard's mages have activated it. It will take you directly to the Black Fortress. What will they do to me when I go to Avadon? I don't know. You are a loyal hand, but you have been serving the rogue Redbeard. I hope they are kind to you, but it is out of my control. What do I need to get? You consult the scroll together. The text of it reads, in its entirety, Raylin, use the Green Refuge portal to return to Avadon. You must find... That's it. The rest of the sheet is blank. Dinez looks grim. Redbeard likes to keep his secrets. Maybe someone in Avadon can reveal the rest of the message. I don't think they will be happy about you showing up and stealing things. Oh well. Redbeard's orders are unfair, but they are orders. Where do I go when I find the items? There is a note at the bottom of the scroll. When you have what I require, bring it all to Zethron's lair and the lands of the Titans. I will be waiting for you there. You must hurry. Dinez is surprised. Zethron, the dragon? I heard he was infirm. Dead, even. This might be good news. We certainly could use more dragons on our side. How do I get to Zethron's lair? You check both sides of the scroll. There is nothing there. Dinez doesn't seem worried. The Black Fortress is full of portals. I'm sure they will find a way to get you there, wherever it is. Okay, well, here we go. All right, can we talk to Deleth now, or is he going to still be dormant? You stumble away from the portal, feeling like your body has been stretched out like taffy and shoved together again. At first, you think the ordeal of teleportation has driven you blind. Then you realize that you're in a dimly lit room. After all the stories, you expect the Avadon to be huge and glorious, all statues and polished marble. You're in catacombs. It's cold and damp, and you can see sarcophagi in the alcoves. Only one thing makes you think you're in the right place: the symbol of Avadon carved into a nearby wall. As your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see something else of great interest. A lone figure is waiting for you at the far end of the hall. The sarcophagus contains the honored remains of a former keeper of Avadon. When you touch it, you receive a powerful, extremely painful shock. You decide to leave it alone. Interlude: the Black Fortress. At last you have come to Avadon, the Black Fortress. Battered and crumbling, it still struggles to defend the pact. You stumble through the dark hall, still dizzy from the effects of the portal. You can't make out any details of the man waiting for you until you stumble into him. You jump back and reach for your weapon. He holds up his hands. Be calm, Hand. Starting a fight now would be a fatal error. You take a step back and wait for your eyes to focus. Eventually you make out a middle-aged Aramite. He wears dignified and very expensive robes. A gold chain bearing the symbol of Avadon hangs from his neck. He says, I am Protus, acting keeper Protus. I am the master of Avadon. Who am I speaking with? Greetings, I am Han Raylin. I am pleased to meet you. I have received very few reports about our more independent agents. He looks at the insignia on your shoulder. You are a Hand of Avadon. You are home, young warrior. Before you can explore, though, I need to know a few things about you. I'd like to know more about you, too. All in due time. As the master of the Black Fortress, selected and elevated by Hanvar's council, I must insist my questions are answered first. Hanvar's council rules the pact, but Avadon is independent. It chooses its own leaders, usually with bloodshed. This is all very odd. Sorry, what is this place? This dismal hall? This is where the most honored keepers of Avadon are buried. That is, the one who survived the office more than a week, and the ones whose bodies survived their assassinations intact. I visit here often, to think, and to remember my fate if I lose your faith. What do you need to know? Protus chooses his first question and watches you intently as you answer. We were lucky enough to find out you were coming, and my mages diverted your arrival to here. What I don't know is, where exactly did you come here from? How did you know I was coming? That is not for you to know, young Han. I came here from the Green Refuge. He thinks it's over. Plausible. Interesting. I know you were with Redbeard, that rogue warrior. Don't bother to deny it. Tell me, where is Redbeard right now? Redbeard is very ill. You describe what happened to him in the corruption. Protus shows no emotion. He only says, I see. Not what I asked. Where is he now? I don't know. Protus starts to challenge you. Then he thinks better of it. Even if he knew where he went, the old fox has probably gone somewhere else. I won't press the issue. You aren't with Redbeard now. You are in my tower, and you must report to me. So report. Tell me what you have accomplished in your rogue adventures. Impress me. We kept the left from uniting the Cimmerians. You tell Protus the story. Strangely, he isn't pleased. That was a success, a victory entirely to his credit, and yours, of course. You will receive more of the credit, I think. Continue. What else? You can now negotiate a peace with the Wildrum rebels. You tell Protus about your negotiations in Corrector. Despite himself, he is impressed. Redbeard was very lucky when he found you. You seem like a hero of the pack. It will be decided when the war is done. Go on. That is all I have to report. Then I have one final question, and I will allow you into the Black Fortress. This will be your home, your place of power. All I need to believe I can trust you. I have but one more question. Your final question is? Protus looks at you very intently. Why are you here, Raylan? After productive months out in the wild, you suddenly slip into my fortress in the dead of night. Why? I need some things for Redbeard. Protus takes the letter and inspects it. Typical. He chuckles, mostly blank. It will reveal what you need to know when you need to know it. What does it say about Redbeard that he can't even trust his hands? He returns the letter. I have something to show you in turn. Show me what? He points at his gold necklace bearing the symbol of Avadon. Anbar's council, rulers of the pack, drove Redbeard out of Avadon. The Black Fortress was given to me until this needless war ends. Before he left, he gave this necklace to me. What is it? It was his. It's a badge of office. It marks me as the keeper of Avadon. It shows that, even in his incoherent rage, Redbeard knew that the decision was correct. His time was past. It is time for him to rest. To be welcome here, you have to acknowledge my position as Redbeard did. If you don't, I will deal with you, and I will be as harsh as Redbeard would. So Redbeard gave that to you? Yes, he presented it to me before he stepped into a portal and fled. He is not entirely without a sense of duty. He knew I had to have authority to rule. Oh, and yes, I did have it examined. It bears no magical trap or enchantment of any kind. I am no fool. The keeper has to have a necklace? Of course not. When I take it off, I am still keeper. Well, acting keeper. Still, symbols are important. Never neglect that. It's not my place to choose a keeper. I only follow my orders. Protus is disappointed. You are apathetic, foolish, or devious. None of those qualities are attractive. Act against me, and I will crush you. For now, you may remain. I will guide you out of the stank catacomb and into the glory of the Black Fortress. He turns and walks to the stairs out of the catacombs. Okay, so we're getting quite a bit of filler right now. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, we'll still get plenty of combat. You've passed two matched guard posts. In more peaceful times, an honor guard is stationed here, watching the famous corpses below. Now, except for a couple of poorly maintained turrets, the place is abandoned and a ruin. You've heard that Avadon is struggling to repair itself, but those efforts have not yet reached down here yet. These chambers are for record storage. The most precious of the intelligence gathered by the eyes of Avadon is kept down here, saved for future reference or blackmail. However, a fire has destroyed most of it. Protus looks at the piles of ash and debris and shakes his head. So much knowledge, wasted, lost, under Redbeard's gaze, of course. In the fire, Avadon lost much of its memory. Isn't it a mess? How did this disaster happen? Nobody knows. Can you believe it? Redbeard left no guards. Some spy just snuck down and set a fire. The former keeper just didn't pay attention to detail. It was as bad in the floors above. I have restored a lot of it, but you will still see much evidence of Redbeard's incompetence. Okay, so I'm guessing helping out Yoshiria in the second game is the canon choice, clearly. You think you could have prevented the attack? That's why I'm taking a few precious minutes to talk to you. You need to know what is happening here in the true seat of power. Unless somebody else did for some reason, but that's not going to be explicitly stated clearly. But I feel like that was the canon choice, was to help Yoshiria in the last game. That's why I'm taking a few precious minutes to talk to you. You need to know what is happening here in the true seat of power. And that is... Handbar's council is helping Avadon again. We are getting gold, conscripts, public support. They wouldn't help Redbeard, but they do help me. Avadon is being restored and the cost is low. What is the cost for the restoration? First, we are no longer above the law. We can't do what we want when we want. We can't kill anyone we want. We are still very powerful, but we have to live by the same laws everyone else does. That is the first cost. And the second cost? The old ways of replacing keepers was barbaric. New keepers will now be chosen every 10 years. The servants of Avadon will choose, and Handbar's council can veto the choice. How were keepers replaced before? You became keeper by assassinating the old keeper. Gruesome, barbaric, and foolish. That is how Cimmerians act. I really don't want to be involved in this. We all have moments of weakness. We all want to walk away from our grim responsibilities. Then we remember that we are adults and we do our duty. The law is the law. Redbeard is keeper as long as he lives, which is true. I mean, he's not dead yet. I will give you time to change your mind. Eventually, I will expect you to swear loyalty to me. When that time comes, if you refuse, you will be my enemy. That is all I have to say. Do what you need to. Just remember the main rule. What is the rule? You are an Avadon. I am keeper here. Obey the law. No violence unless you are defending yourself. No theft. No spying for the rogue keeper. Get what you need and go. Proto steps aside and welcome home. Okay, well, at least we get another lockpick out of it. Man, this was so surreal coming back to Avadon when we started at just an Avadon camp. The tunnels below were crumbling and abandoned. This floor, on the other hand, is a bustling construction site. Workers are hauling around bricks and mortar, and this woman is directing the work. She doesn't bear the mark of Avadon. She is one of the many civilians who work here, doing the mundane work of keeping Avadon running. They don't get the power, but they don't have the gruesome responsibilities either. When she sees you, she bows. Greetings, Hand. I am Door. I'm running the repairs on this floor. Wait, you came from the north. I didn't see you pass. How did you get down here? Redbeard teleported me here. What? Really? Remarkable. The powers you people have are amazing. When I want to go somewhere, I have to walk. I need some information. Of course, Hand. If you need help or directions, please ask. How do I get to the rest of Avadon? The Callan points to the south. Go up the stairs there. You'll be in the deep cells. We haven't repaired them yet. We're waiting for the pests to be cleaned out. Go east, but stay close to the south wall. You'll find the stairs out. What do you think of Protus? Do you prefer Redbeard? I have no opinions. None at all. I only care about this. She holds out her schematics and diagrams. Avadon has more money now? I don't know about the politics. I think the Pact wanted Avadon to follow their orders. In return, Avadon gets more gold. I don't care. I'm just a builder. What are you building? Cells. Some sort of prisoner storage. With the war, prisoners are being brought for questioning all the time. They need to be stuck somewhere. There are monsters? Some. The dungeons were really neglected. Keeper Protus wants them all driven out. We're happy about it. What's going on? You walk with Dor as she keeps the repair work going. She walks around consulting blueprints and giving orders. You walk with her, impressed by how quickly the work is going. What's going on here? We are repairing these cells. There are no monsters here, so this is where we started. Avadon just got a lot of gold, and Protus is spending it to repair the fort. A lot of work is overdue, I'm afraid. Anything I can do for you? No, Han, I wouldn't dare waste your time. Also, I can't afford your help. I'll still kill these fire lizards free, though. If that means uncovering the area. Floor is full of cells, all abandoned and crumbling. At first, you aren't sure why all the workers downstairs aren't doing repairs here. Then you look down the hall and see the stains and tracks. A bunch of beasts have escaped and are wandering around this floor. Avadon hasn't been able to spare warriors to clean them out. You can kind of see them wandering in the shadows, kind of lost. Their time in the darkness has left them mostly blind. You might be able to evade them with care. Your hair stands on end for a moment. You feel a tingling sensation. For a moment, you are in the presence of weak magic. You try to figure out what caused it. Then you check the letter you got from Redbeard. It has changed. A new sentence has appeared. Ilaria needs to be freed from the Avadon dungeons. Do this. That is all. The directions are clear, but there isn't a lot of extra information. Ooh, we definitely recognize who our Ilaria is. You finally reach the main floor of the dungeons. There is a network of cells just ahead, full of prisoners fresh from the front. Guards patrol everywhere looking for signs of unrest. Lots of shouting and complaining. These cells are high security. They've been reserved for the most dangerous and valuable prisoners. The people here go to the front of the line for intense magic-aided interrogation. A prisoner with thick black hair and a full beard sits in a chair vacantly staring at the wall. He is dressed in the hide armor typical of a Warborn rebel officer. He turns to you when you approach. Oddly, he seems happy to see you. I'm Emery. Am I free? Will you take me home? His expression is not normal, much too childlike. Why do you think I'm here to free you? He is confused by your question. She said I was done. He shudders slightly. No more questions. I should go home now. He gets up and walks through the door. One of the nearby guards steps in the way and gently guides him back to his seat. Who questioned you? He is slow to answer you. The scary woman, Lavon. First I didn't want to talk. That made her mad. They laid me down. They whispered to me, then I talked. She was happy with me after. Still scary. She said I can go home soon. Are you here to take me? He gives you a look of hope and trust. Emery seems broken. He acts nothing like the proud and stoic Wildroom rebels you've encountered. I'm sorry, I'm not here to take you home. Oh, goodbye then. He ignores you and goes back to staring at the wall. Wait, is this Ilaria? No, just prisoner of Avadon. There is a Taiwanite woman sitting at this table. Once she was an elegant noblewoman, and the ratty dress was originally fantastically expensive. Then she spent years down in this dungeon, and it wore her down. Now she is sitting at this table, skinny and shaking. She is surrounded by piles of paper. She's writing letters in a shaky hand. When you approach, she stands and bows. Greetings, Hand of Avadon. I am Envoy Bursula. I am from the Tawan, and I mean no harm to the Pact. I promise it, truly. You are from the Tawan. I am. Her eyes grow distant. I haven't been there for many years. It's hard to remember things. I haven't left Avadon since the Age of Chaos began. I'd like to know more about your land. I'm sorry, Hand. I haven't been there for so long. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what the war has done. It's a beautiful country, though. Envoy Ursula sits at the table and sips from a wooden cup of water. Pardon me, Hand. I still have many letters to write today. Her pen scratches across the paper as she talks to you. I will help you any way I can. Are you a prisoner here? She sets down her pen for a moment and rubs her hand. She looks very small and old. A prisoner? I'm not sure. They put me here. I'm a hostage, I think. They put me here. Questioned me. When the Age of Chaos began, they had me write letters. That's what I've been doing. You're a hostage? I think so. I don't think they'll let me leave. I live here. I was in a nice cell. Then monsters took it over. I adjust. What crime did you commit? I'm not sure. Redbeard sent me here. I'm a Taiwanite. You're at war with us, and that might be all. Her words are barely a whisper. Whatever the reason was, I'm sure it's just. When will you be freed? Acting Keeper Protus came here to see me. Personally, he said I could go home when the Taiwan Empire surrenders. That's why I write the letters. I'm helping. What do you think of Acting Keeper Protus? She shudders. He has been kind to me. I think he will be just. Please don't make me say more. I can't make anyone here angry. What are you doing with all those letters? They are addressed to people in the Tawan, merchants and lords, anyone with wealth or influence. I am urging them to make peace with the Pact. I was a noble once. My family is known. I might have some influence. Does it work? I don't know. I'm not told what's happening in the Tawan. I think the letters arrived. Do your people think you're a traitor? Yes, I'm sure they do. I'm not given any messages from them, but I think that is probably a mercy. If the war ends and they execute me, at least it will be at home. How are your letters delivered? Hands come by before they go northeast. I say where the letters go, and they take them. Avadon's agents are everywhere, except... She holds up one scroll and shows it to you. This is going to a band of raiders, camped near the Temple of Velusa. Dozens of hands have looked at it. None can have taken it. Could you take this copy in case you're ever there? I can write another in case you can't. I can take the letter. She gives it to you with a trembling hand. It's the Temple of Velusa. The raider that camp is somewhere nearby. That's what the eyes told me. Just deliver it. Maybe the temple can tell you where the raiders are. Thank you, Hand. If you help me, it will please my keepers. A Taiwanite noble named Envoy Bursula is being held in the Avadon dungeons. She's been down there for a long time, writing letters to her people asking them to submit. She gave you a letter and told you, if possible, to deliver it to a band of Taiwanite raiders. They can be found near the Temple of Velusa. Okay. Okay, so I was supposed to free Ilaria, but I have no idea where she would be. Or maybe I just haven't found her yet. It is interesting that we found Envoy Ursula again, because she was someone we could talk to in the first two Avadon games, although she didn't give us quests or anything. So it is interesting she has a quest for us now. I mean, she has been at Avadon for like so long. This book is for the taking of notes during interrogations. The sheets of the journal are dense with names, dates, and lists of questions and answers. None of the records seem relevant to your current work. You meet the most terrifying woman in Linnaeus. She doesn't need to introduce herself. She is Avadon, chief interrogator and master of the Avadon dungeons. Happily, she is in a good mood. She is very busy. Prisoners are being brought in and tied to stone tables. Lavon's trained eyes use spells to peer into their minds. The prisoners moan, shudder, and submit. It is a disturbing sight. You look away. The eye notices you and starts to walk over. Then you hear screaming. An ogre being secured to a table has broken loose, punched a young sage in the face, and made a run for it. Guards are hanging from him, trying to slow him down. Is everything alright? Nobody pays attention. There is too much noise, and the show is too interesting. Several of the guards pull truncheons from their belts. The result is sudden, dramatic, and gruesome. The unconscious ogre is brought to the table and secured. Lavon walks up to you, not wasting time with introductions. You are Raylin. Yes, I was told you'd be passing through. I'm Lavon. Welcome to Avadon. Keep moving. Don't bother the prisoners. I don't need any escapes. Who were you just wrestling? She looks over at the ogre, who is slowly regaining consciousness, and I prepare some pacification spells. Soon the ogre will be eager to say everything he knows about everything. Lavon says he was just brought from Goldcrag. There's a lasting stalemate there. We'll find out if the Warborn have weaknesses in their defenses. Then we'll take him back to Goldcrag and dump him there. What is this place? This is our interrogation hall. Prisoners are brought here for questioning. It's small and dirty, and we don't have near enough capacity for the need. Still, we do what we can. Who brings the prisoners to you? You do. Brave hands out in hostile lands. The prisoners you bring are treasures. They are weapons that point at the heart of the enemy. Who is in charge here? Me. Happily, I need to do little. I get the best of the eyes and I train them well. Lavon stomps around the interrogation chamber, shouting at her underlings and checking every crystal, bed, and shackle. Every few minutes, she shouts, "Speed, people! Precision, efficiency, and speed! Don't you know there's a war on? You are the interrogator?" Sometimes. Prisoners are only honored by my direct attention if they are really tough. I mainly watch over my underlings. I train them. They are good at questioning. How does it work? First, we secure the prisoner. Then a series of spells are cast, weakening resistance and softening the mind. Soon they say everything they know. They know they are betraying everything they love, and they can't help it. It is horrible for them. That is harsh. Of course, they deserve it. They are enemies of the pack. Can anyone do it? Lavon is offended. Of course not. The mind is incredibly delicate. To subjugate it utterly requires patience and a delicate touch. No clumsy hedge wizard can do our work. Does it affect the prisoners permanently? Yes, they're always a bit slow and confused afterwards. Functional, but fuzzy. However, I don't always think it's the treatment that does it. I think it's just being overwhelmed by shame, because they totally betrayed anyone and anything they ever loved. Does anyone ever resist? All the time. They always are broken eventually. We do have limits, though. For example, we recently found that we can't break infernals. We brought one named Pinkna. We couldn't affect it at all. We had to store it in the central cave. I want to talk about a prisoner named Emery. Ooh, she checks the list from her pocket. Ah, you mean Captain Emery. A tough one. A tough case, that one. He has some training in mental resistance. I had to personally break him. Why do you ask about him? He seems totally broken. She lets out a derisive snort. Captain Emery is a rebel traitor. He fought and killed many pack soldiers. He even bragged about it. He was especially proud of personally killing 2 hands. Trust me, what I did to him was a mercy compared to what he did to them. How's breaking his mind a mercy? She frowns at your continued questioning. Our methods are not just reliable, but also humane. Little physical harm. It is for the best in his case. You see, he was very exact in his descriptions of how he killed those hands. It was gruesome. He deserves to be executed. However, thanks to me, he will probably not remember any of the war. He has regained his innocence, so yes, I consider it a mercy. Now, excuse me, I have much work to do. I need some information. I'm sure you do. Imamura is the best guide for visitors. You can find him in the intake hall to the west. She returns to her work. More prisoners come from the war every day. Okay, let's stay in the dungeons in the meantime. This hall is very busy. It's crammed with prison guards, eyes, prisoners, and the occasional wild beasts in chains. Workers haul piles of construction materials. Yet in all the chaos, it's immediately clear who is in charge. The Eye in Command stops what he is doing and walks up to you. He is an aging man with a thick leather jerkin and a broadsword hanging from his belt. You doubt that the weapon has seen any actual use for decades. He gives you a reassuring smile, practiced by years of welcoming the doomed to the dungeons. Welcome, Hand. I am Imamura. I run the prison. We are restoring it now, after years of neglect, and I could use help. My name is Ray Lynn. I'm new to Avadon. Mamora nods. Proto sent a message. Said you'd probably be coming to me. Told me to help you. The acting keeper asked me to give you a warm greeting. Make a good impression. I do what the keeper says. Tell me about the prison. When our hands take valuable prisoners, they are brought here. We extract all valuable information and then send the prisoners away. This is one of the greatest resources of valuable intelligence for all the pack. When we have prepared everything, it will be even greater. How do you extract the information? Powerful, mind-shredding magic. You should ask I Levon. She gets angry when I try to explain it. How many prisoners are here now? Let me think. He pauses for about 2 seconds. 183 humans and Warborn. A handful of beasts. Also, one infernal. Annoyingly enough. How long are prisoners kept here? Imamura is interrupted by the need to sign for a wagon load of bricks. Then he continues. It depends on how long they stay useful. Most are gone, one way or another, within a month. They all show up thinking they can resist us. So strong, the Farlanders. He chuckles. Nobody can beat Levon's spells. Nobody. Are prisoners ever executed? Yes, but very rarely. Once we break them, we'd like to send them home. They become walking lessons about the power of Avadon. Imamura is desperately busy, both directing the repair of the prison and helping to take in new prisoners. Yet, he is always able to find time for you. He is far more friendly and welcoming than you would expect. Do you need anything else, Hand? You seem like quite the asset for our exhausted fortress. There's a lot of construction going on. Imamura steps back. Wretches walk by, bent under a delivery of chairs. There has to be. The war generates more valuable prisoners than we can process. So we are trying to increase capacity. Alas, the dungeons were allowed to decay. We have a lot of repairs to do. Happily, we have the gold now. How did things decay so much? Ambar's council was not fond of Redbeard. Actually, they hated him. They stopped giving us gold, so we stopped being able to keep up with repairs. How'd you get all that new gold? Imamura gets nervous. It's subtle, but it's there. Hanvar's council made a deal with acting keeper Protus. The result was that we could afford repairs at last. We are grateful. What do you think of acting keeper Protus? I do all my work in the basement. I am too busy to have opinions about acting keeper Protus or Redbeard or any of that. He's lying, but you understand it. He doesn't want to end up a resident of his own dungeon. I'm looking for someone. Her name is Ilaria. Imamura gets very serious very quickly. Oh, that is unexpected. Ilaria was the head librarian upstairs. When Protus arrived, she didn't accept his rule. She was loyal to Redbeard, so she was sent to me. And why did you need to see her again? Redbeard sent me to find her. Imamura starts to shake his head. Then he shrugs. Helping Redbeard is dangerous, but Protus said to help you. I'll help you. Maybe he just wants to be rid of her. There is only one problem. What is the problem? She is in the cells to the north, but there was a disruption. A mage slipped her shackles, summoned some pests. We had to close the gates, and Ilaria is still up there. I will have the gate open for you. Do what you want. I just don't want to know about it, please. I have simply followed my orders. You say that you need some help. Imamura nods eagerly. We need hands desperately, but they're all kept busy by war. Your walking through is a stroke of luck for us. The lower cells are full of pests and escaped wretches. We need someone armed to go down there and clear out the vermin, especially the wretches. They're cunning and they make tunnels. Destroy them. I have a proper budget for giving rewards. How do I get there? Go back down the stairs you came up and head north. There should be giant animals trying to kill you almost immediately. You can sneak past them if you want. I mainly want to be rid of the wretches in the tunnels below that. I'm not sure what I can do. I'm here alone. I sympathize. However, there are a few guards downstairs. If you are clever, you might be able to get them to help you. Avamora is the master of the Avadon dungeons. He is trying to clear them of an accumulation of pests, and he asks for your help. There is a band of escaped wretches in the lower tunnels. You can find them by going down one floor and heading north. He wants them destroyed. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back down to where we came from. So we are doing this without our companions right now, but you know what? That's fine. I mean, we are Blade Master. We can handle things roughly on our own. Okay, so let's just kill them all, make it easier for us. I don't really care about stealth right now. Dagnabbit. Our main NPC here is definitely the first character who didn't start out as a hand at Avadon. I feel like. Unless I missed something. Because our first character went to Avadon immediately. They journeyed to Avadon at the beginning. And was at Avadon right away. Our second character got conscripted eventually. But yeah, our character here is definitely the only one who hasn't actually been able to get to Avadon until this point. It's actually quite interesting. Man, I could have just avoided these freaking cave paths or whatever. Could I have really recruited some guards to help me out down here? I don't even know. Alright, but I think I do need to go ahead and save the game here, so let me save the game and I'll see you all with the next part.